Hello, my name is Crystal and I'm an energy communicator. And I'm on here a lot doing readings with tarot and mediumship and things like that. But it's interesting, one of the questions I get a lot is, how do you talk to your higher self? And so over the years, I've been coaching and reading for over 30 years. And one of the things I found that works the best, believe it or not, is to find yourself a deck of oracle cards, something like this, kind of like things that even readers use. But the interesting thing is, I want you to find a deck that you just love the artwork. This is just one of the many that I love to play with. And the interesting thing is, you can do a little exercise where you pull just one card a day. But before you do it, that's when you start asking some questions of your higher self. Kind of tune everything out for just a moment. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, put your hand over your heart, and think of a question you'd like to ask your higher self. Then grab your little deck, do a little shuffle, and pull a card. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to shuffle and we'll pull a card for today. We're going to ask what the higher self is of the consciousness today, since we're not just peeking in my mind, so to speak. Let's go ahead and give you a hand. Let's show you how this works, how super easy this is to be able to ask your higher self some questions. Okay? Here we go. Okay. Everyone shuffles a little different, I admit. So even though I'm kind of bumbling along, it works. You gotta do you, my dear. Okay. So let's see. Ooh, one is really popping up there. Let's see what this one says. Let's get the glasses on and do a little story time, okay? So it says Shaman of Skulls. Oof, look at that artwork. That's what I'm talking about. Find a deck that the artwork just makes you want to fall into. Okay, so that's, let's see, number 34. Let's see what we got, okay? So here's that card again. It says Shaman of Skulls, sorry. It says, in your heart, you've been asking for something different, something more. The universe is answering, and the universe is answering your prayers. You do not need to be afraid of the changes happening or that are going to happen for you. These are part of the answer from the universe. You must feel uncertain because you cannot see how it's all going to work out. But know that the universe is caring for you and provides you with a way to move through with the transition with grace. You are not crazy to willingly enter this experience. There is nothing that you need to avoid and so much that you will gain. So they have this is a little guidance that's added in with that. It says something is ending, something that has meant a lot to you. Maybe it is a relationship, a phase of your life, an identity that no longer suits you. Maybe it's an inner ending that you cannot quite articulate, but you feel nonetheless. This is a symbolic death with a greater purpose. The shaman is spiritually trained to overcome the fear of symbolic death, and instead of avoiding any endings, to willingly go through them with the awareness that an ending is simply the other side of a beginning. What a beautiful view, right? The shaman knows that this is ultimately for good and has the compassion for the human mind that may still feel very uncomfortable and resistant to the process. So even whilst we may accept the change, even with gratitude, our minds might feel uncertain and afraid. We might feel confused or try to cling to what is ending. These are natural human responses to loss, especially when we sense that that loss is irreversible and that life will never quite be the same again. Be patient with yourself, but also know that the new life is happening, but for you now according to a higher purpose and loving plan. Your life is meant to change at this time. Be encouraged. From the ashes of this symbolic death, you shall rise again. Isn't that beautiful? That's like the symbolic nature of the phoenix bird. And so, like I was talking earlier, why this is such a wonderfully simple, easy, and something very easy to grab, hold, and work with. This is a beautiful way, a process for you to ask your higher self the questions that are weighing on you. So get yourself a deck. Like I said, find one. Just do a search for the word oracle deck and see what comes up. Start looking through, find something. Maybe there's something you love, like fairies or dragons. There's oracle decks that have that as a theme. So my advice to you, and it's a very simple exercise, I say, this is maybe, I know everyone's lives are really busy. Maybe first thing in the morning, this isn't the easiest thing. But how about, I think the more magical time to do this is right before you go to sleep. Because our dreams are also full of so much potential of being able to not only speak to the universe, so to speak, but to talk to your higher self in an easy way that makes it not so incredibly, out there and mystical that where anybody can't attain this. Anybody who picks up an oracle deck just like this can have a conversation just as powerful as this. And so my advice to you is get yourself a deck and do this right before you go to sleep at night, because then you are getting ready to go to rest for the night physically, but your mind isn't going to be resting. You're going to kind of leave your consciousness, so to speak, and wander about the universe. Why not have a little travel plans in there? And then the interesting thing is when you wake up, it may not come to awareness first thing after waking up, but it's going to be very interesting to see what time and point the next day that those answers that came through at night, beyond just what you got from your reading of that single card, it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of treasures float up from the surface. So, from my heart to yours, I'm sending you so much love. Try this exercise. It's super easy, especially if you just want a little guidance in your life and you don't want it to seem something incredibly complex. I mean, if you can shuffle a deck of cards and read a little booklet, you can dig a little deeper into who you really are from your higher self. So, be good to yourself, my dears. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.